Welcome back, my friends, to another episode of TFT Hyper Roll with Artark. This video exists because of a comment from Henrik Sosa. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I went to howtopronounce.com and it gave me like 4 different pronunciations of each part of your name, so I apologize if I have it wrong. But here's the thread that got this started. I explained, they asked for the Spellslinger Talia build. I explained that I had tried it a bunch of times and I just could not get it to work, and they found it surprising because they're doing really well with it right now. And the very next game I decided, okay, I'm just gonna force it, and maybe I just got lucky, but this game is the result, so this game's for you. And just before we get into the actual build, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, the good stuff. The stuff that helps the channel grow. And with that said, now, let's officially get started. Now, let's just appreciate for a moment that I am ignoring that Cho'Gath and not forcing threats. And instead, I'm going to stick with Spellslingers. And can we further appreciate that I'm not grabbing the high roller, which would be perfect for a threats build because I could then get all the threats I want, but instead I go with golden ticket because I know that is going to allow me the best chance to get the spell slingers I need to make this build work. So there are essentially 2 carries that you want to optimize for this build. Your early carry is going to be Lux, and you want things like Archangel's Staff and Spear of Sojun so she can cast early, often, and powerful. But you're also going to want to reserve some things for Talia because you need her for late game. So with those general items in mind, probably Spear of Sojun being the most important, we're going to go ahead and grab the BF sword. Getting an early Sona really helps a lot in this type of build. You are going to see how valuable she is, and that is because she does both damage and healing. Notice Lux was almost dead, but Sona brought her back, and that allowed Lux to take out LeBlanc and then ultimately finish off Annie. I was able to grab a LeBlanc in between rounds, and that gave me the 4th Spellslinger, but the weak spot right now for this build is my Annie, because she is not strong enough to tank, and I really need her to hold things up so that Lux can destroy them. As you can see, she can do a lot of damage, but not when things are in her face. Item once again is an easy choice. We want Spear of Sojun, so Tear of the Goddess. Since we are going to be working Star Guardian in, having mana producing items is going to be important. Now that I have a 2-star Annie, I'm feeling much more secure with the front line. It's amazing what one champ can do, but you can see just how tanky she is, even without items, and we hope to itemize her at some point. It's time for our 2nd augment, and I cannot resist new recruit, even though I would love to grab Celestial Blessing to get some real healing on the team. Getting an extra team member is just a little too tempting. I decide to bring in an Alistair because he will help shore up the front line and also give Mascot, which will provide just a little teeny bit of healing, but why not have it if you can get it? And it's really helping us get through this. And since I have the extra room on this team, I decide to bring in Soraka and trigger admin. My choices are not fantastic, so every 5 seconds admins get 30 permanent health. That will have to fit for now. I'm not necessarily planning on keeping them as permanent members of the team, so it didn't matter all that much. Here, I was really torn between the Giant's Belt and the Sparring Glove because I could go with the jeweled gauntlet on our now 3-star Lux, or I like the Morellonomicon a little bit better on her because her ult is an AoE, and since we don't have the Lux augment that would make her attack super powerful, why not use it to do some additional damage and reduce healing? And I immediately feel that I made the right choice as I end up facing a super mech set with a Dragon's Claw. So that is going to provide him with a lot of healing and magic resist, but the Morellonomicon is going to stunt that healing, which is going to make it easier for us to get through. Not easy, but enough that we can accomplish it. And rounds like this make me really glad I brought Soraka onto the team, because with her and Sona and their healing, it is going to keep Lux alive. Watch Lux's health because she is pretty much done, and just the right heals at the right moment keep her up and allow her to finish it off. Thanks to Golden Ticket, I was able to get a Talia and will cover items after the augment. It's our third prismatic augment. I'm not in love with any of these, so I roll and decide go with Woodland Charm because it'll put an additional champion on the board. It will take your highest champion and just simply double them up, so it's adding one. I can go ahead, put the Spear of Sojun on Talia, then I can put a Warmogs onto Annie, so Annie will be the one who now gets doubled. We're going to switch Sona out for Janna, as the Forecaster bonus is additional mana, so that's going to help both Lux and Talia cast more often. I'm also keeping Soraka and LeBlanc in it right now just to continue with the admin buff. If I had replaced one of them, I would have lost the admin buff, so I'm kind of seeing which way that's going. I want to obviously pick up more items for Talia as I go, but even without her fully itemized and just the Spear of Sojun, you can see she's doing a lot of damage and helping out. And normally I don't show rolling in between rounds, but Golden Ticket really helps out here because it gives me a lot of chances to roll and pick up exactly what I need. Notice with that I'm able to get the 2-star Talia, the 2-star LeBlanc, and so my team is getting really strong as it goes forward. And with Talia now up at 2 stars, this team feels almost unstoppable. Her ults can just wipe out the entire backline of a team, and Annie is able to absorb enough damage that by the time it gets down to it, there's not much left to clean up. Hoping at this point to complete some Talia items, I would like to get something like a jeweled gauntlet on her and a Hextech gunblade. None of these work for that, so I'm better off going for more tank on Annie up front so the front line can continue to hold more. We open up the anvil and now we have a jeweled gauntlet that can go onto Talia. We run into that mech team again with all the magic resistance, only now they have a 2-star Misfortune who is able to just wipe out nearly all of the power of our team with a single ult. That is going to require a change on my part as to how I'm positioning, because my feeling is this is the team I'm going to have to beat in the end. And the adjustment is fairly simple. Talia will now be on the right side of the screen while Lux is all the way on the left. Talia will not get the benefit of Janna's positioning, but she will not be able to be taken out with a Misfortune ult unless it's directed at her, at what point the other power center of my team, which is Lux, will still be alive. This allows attacks to be coming from both sides, and as you can see, Lux and Talia have led us into the top 4. We have 2 more items left, and what I'm really hoping for is a Hextech gunblade for Talia so we can get some critical healing on this team. That's not one of the choices yet, but I could go with the Giant Slayer for Talia to just increase the damage, or the Morellonomicon for Janna because her ult will hit a lot of people. Take one last shot. Archangel Staff will do. It's not the Hextech gunblade I really want, but it will absolutely serve the purpose of increasing her power. Notice I have a lot of champions just sitting on the bench. That is because I have a Syndra in, and she will take people, fling them off the bench, and they will get to go out and do damage. As you just saw, Nunu went in and was able to roll into their backline. And now you can also see the value in us separating the damage centers because they were able to take out Talia, but Misfortune could not survive till the end. Also forgot to mention we brought in Echo to serve 2 purposes. That is the 5th Star Guardian, so we're getting additional bonus mana, and also the 2nd Aegis, so it gives us magic resist. This is the team that had been giving us a lot of trouble throughout because of the Misfortune, but separating our 2 power centers really helped as Talia was able to take her out really quickly. But that set is really tanky, and even with everything focusing on it, it is not wanting to go down. Luckily, this is where Morellonomicon helps because it reduces the healing and allows Talia to get the attack in. Thanks again to Golden Ticket and a bunch of free rolls, I am able to 2-star the Syndra and 2-star Leona on our bench. So on our bench, we have a 2-star Yumi, a Nunu, and a Leona. They move their misfortunes, so Talia will not take her out immediately, and that will allow her to cast across our team. But she doesn't really get much. Further, Syndra has flung our entire bench, including that 2-star Leona, into the battle. Keep in mind, we were also running new recruits, so we had an additional person, and we had an additional clone player thanks to the Woodland Charm. So we had a lot going for us, but even with that, this set almost takes out Talia, but she gets in the last lick. And it is GG to everyone. Thank you for the comment that led to this video. It was like a free win. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, hope everyone has an absolutely awesome day.